You've come from the tower, haven't you? Name's Agarth. Maybe you can help an old Fate Weaver, eh? Fate Weavers look at the great tapestry of fate. The threads will tell us how a life will unfold. But knowing the future and being able to change it are two very different things. Did he? Poor old Fomerus Hughes. He respected the way the world works. What a shame. He's probably dead by now. When he started his experiments here, he asked me if they'd ever be successful. The cards told me that the Well of Souls would work, but its success would come on the day that Hughes was to die. The old man took it pretty well, honestly, although we did a lot of drinking after that. You really don't know much, do you? A Fate Weaver taps into the threads of fate and channels that energy through a focus. My order prefers cards. The cards are unique to each Fate Weaver, since we all see the weave differently. I suppose I could spare a little help in memory of Hughes, or in celebration of his success. Whichever. You're the one. Then that means... it all makes sense now. The cards this morning. I drew the Gravedigger, the Running Man, and the Beast. Prepare yourself. They're coming. What? How? What are you? The threads of fate. I've seen them before, but I've never seen anyone manipulate them like that. You just changed how the world was supposed to work. How did you do that? Hughes may have brought you back to life, but that was still part of fate's plan. Nothing short of a god can do what you did. Come here. I'm going to do a reading. You might be able to change the threads, but fate will still have a plan for you. I promise not to tell you if I see your death. It's a gift. Some people paint landscapes, other people write poetry. I peer into the weave of fate's tapestry and see people's deaths. That would be my guess. He was an academic, but he had a proper respect for fate's plan, unlike most gnomes. You're nervous. Relax. This is what Fate Weavers do. I'll be seeing your place in the pattern of destiny. Who you are, what you've done, where your path takes you. Or, at least, I should be. You're real, right? I swear I haven't had that much. Fate's weave is always hard to see. It's in motion, hard to make out, but undeniably there. Yours is just missing. This doesn't make sense. All mortal creatures have a place in the pattern. You should have one too, dead or not. If this is true, and I'm not saying I believe it, then your path is yours to determine. I can see the threads around you, but they're shifting, changing so rapidly, I can't make sense of them. Normally, the threads would guide my hand to the cards, and I'd use those cards to see your pattern in the weave. But it just didn't happen. They wouldn't focus. So either there's something wrong with me, and there isn't, or there's something very wrong with you. It could mean nothing, or it could mean everything. The world is changing. You might be a sign of that, or maybe the cause. I've never had a reason to doubt my own readings, but we should consult with Arden. He's not a friend, but he's got a good eye for the tapestry. I'll meet you at his home to the east. I'm going to see if I can be of any help to the wounded at the tower. Once I was Agarth the Unyielding, the Blade of Avgrun. I wrestled the Colossus priestess and declined knighthood by the High King of the Fae. I was a hero of men, but that wasn't enough for me. I joined the Fate Weavers, hoping to find a way to conquer destiny itself. Turns out fate is the one thing I couldn't fight. You can find Arden's little cottage in the middle of Joven. Had to move there when he got run out of town. He's a damned good Fate Weaver. But that doesn't make you very popular, especially not in dark days like these. We are all threads in the tapestry of fate, measured, woven, and cut according to a great plan. Fate Weavers undertake the task of reading those threads. Our title always was a bitter lie, since we have no control over how that tapestry is woven. But you do. And when a Fate Weaver looks at your place in the weave, we see only the shapes of what you may choose to become. The Fate Weavers were once a great, unified order of sages from all the mortal races. We foretold the destinies of kings and gods. But that power takes a toll. Nobody likes bad news, and all the news in the world is getting worse. The order splintered long ago. Now the old traditions are all but lost, and all I foretell is the fate of my beer. And I see it being empty soon. Hughes was always an odd one, curious and determined as any of his kind, sure. He never shut up about his work, but he always knew what was important. He didn't worry about dying as long as he knew he'd get the well working. Hughes was always an odd one, curious and determined as any of his kind, sure. He never shut up about his work, but he always knew what was important. He didn't worry about dying as long as he knew he'd get the well working. The Tuatha aren't like any Fae I've ever known. They're cruel, bloodthirsty, and savage. Why, they're practically human. That's just it. I don't know if you've got one, but that's why we're going to see Arden. He lives in a little hut to the east in Yulven. I'll meet you there. What could this all mean?
Of all the songs in halls of lore, there echoes none more grand than Olane's many feats of might, the pure and lady of the light. She is a knight of golden knot. She is the cure seeker, the conscience of the summer fae. She is the heart of spring, of day.
Everyone just stand back. The warden can't work when you're crowding so close. Go back to your business. Go on.
Don't let your guard down.
These are strange times. Be well.
I don't care what you race. It's a tragedy whenever anyone's savage like this. Just look at the poor creature. She's been beaten to the brink of death. The Fae may be strange, but they certainly don't deserve this. It appears she was attacked with some manner of short blade, likely a dagger, although there's no way I can be sure. People simply stood by as she called for help. No one lifted a finger. Can you imagine? It's shameful to treat another in such a way, even if she is a Fae. I don't know whether we possess the knowledge to treat such a wound. Frankly, I don't even know if I could save a mortal with such grievous wounds. It's difficult to say. We've been plagued by the Red Legion for days, but it's not their way to go after the Fae in the area. They like their targets mortal. In case you haven't heard, there have been some Tuatha sighting in the woods to the west, so that's also a possibility. It's unlikely, though. Well, you're the only one. With all the troubles we've suffered in this village, people are weary of adversity. They'd rather just ignore it. I'm going to suggest something a bit untraditional. There's a Fae named Eri. She spends her days up on the hill overlooking the village. Seek her wisdom. I would do it, but I am a coward. That's the truth. Perhaps a Fae will know how to heal a Fae. If not, then we're back where we started. I've spent most of my life dealing with them, but they aren't like us. Not at the core. They don't know what it means to be a man who sweats to feed his family. Goreheart has become a sort of refuge for those settlers who wish to live a life free of Fae. I don't see that lasting. Not with the war. Not with everything changing. We keep a precarious peace with the Court of Summer, one that's tested every day. I lie awake at night worrying what kind of disaster awaits me in the morning. But we're a good community full of good people. We have our eccentrics, sure, but we work hard and live quietly. That's the best anyone can do these days. Peaceful Fae make up the tribe known as the Court of Summer. They are led by a king in a faraway city, hidden from mortal eyes. That's about all I know. Little more than rumors and stories from my youth. I'm the Warden of Goreheart, and a poor one at that. I've been back from the war for only 6 months and been Warden for less than 2. Now here I am with an injured Fae on my doorstep. I'm a disgrace. Our fate rests in the hands of a few chosen who fight in the east. You wouldn't even know it in Gorhart. We're miles away from the smoke and the screams. I've seen many bandit clans in the Crystal War and back home, but these men are a particular breed. They like their victims weak and bloody. The Red Legion has been a presence in the area for several weeks now. Our people are scared to show their faces after dark. I don't know what the Tuatha will be doing this far from the front lines. It must be something vital to their interests. They're a wicked breed, though, and I pity the man who meets up with them in these darkened forests. She spends her days in the precipice overlooking the village. She doesn't think we're aware of her presence, but we most certainly are. Hope you stay in town.
Don't believe Father Dinwell when he tells you that Mitharu was male. Mitharu is a god, not a mortal. She is all of us, not some of us. Mitharu does not dwell behind the mission's walls, no. She is in every rock and every tree, every bud and every storm. She is with all of us. Hello.
Welcome to St. Odwig's Perpetual Mission. I would invite you in, but the Order has been too trusting in the past. We try to learn from our mistakes. Although, one never knows what might be a test of faith. You have arrived just when I am in need of aid, so perhaps Mitharu is at work. We at St. Odwig's have worked for years to establish a presence on this hill. It's not been without its challenges. The call of the Feylands does not fall upon deaf ears, and many of our youngest don't have the will to resist. Take Brother Egan, for example. 2 nights ago, Egan ventured past the walls to collect firewood and never returned. We must find him before anything happens. Oderath is a savage land. Every day we must face both the beasts of the wood and the evil of wicked hearts. I fear for Brother Egan's soul. He knows nothing of the world of Fey and Alpha, trust and temptation. He is like a baby, eyes wide at the world around him. Mitharu be praised, his order reigns supreme. Brother Egan was last seen northeast of here, just off the road near the Fey ruins. Please find him. Perhaps then we can welcome you into the fold with open arms. He is a good boy, but our youngest, and Egan often suffers from doubt. That is to be expected. One can only grow out of conflict, especially conflict of the spirit. I tried my best to comfort him and tell him that wisdom would come in time, but he is impatient. Brash. He wanted a faster way to enlightenment and power. The Fae are stubborn fools. They treat their souls like toys, with no thought of right or wrong, chaos or order. I have been with the mission since its founding. These boys are like my sons. I live my life as an example of Mitharu's wishes for our kind. The first bricks were laid 50 years ago by Odwig himself, before his demise at the hands of trolls. We honor him by converting the Fae to the worship of Mitharu. Alas, we have yet to convert a single one, but that does not keep us from trying. Egan was last seen in the woods outside the walls, just north of the village. Egan was last seen in the woods outside the walls, just north of the village. Goodbye.
Are you content to live among the lives of the mission? They look down their eyes at you. They laugh at your ignorance. Do the half-truths of these wise men exhaust you as they do me? I have listened to their prayers for too long. There are other voices to be heard.
Don't start any trouble.
Ugh, finally. Someone that looks like they could stand up to a moderate breeze. There's need for an adventurer such as yourself. Me and a crew are mounting an expedition to a new land, south of here. Ah, clever and strong, I see. It's as I said, we're going to the teeth of Naros, the land south of Dalentarth. If you want more information, seek Hellick Cross. He's leading us. We're camped beyond Ettenmere. Hellick's brainchild, if you can believe it. I don't share his optimism about the loot we'll find, but if we get only a fraction of it... Made a living pillaging the ruins of old places like Talarain. Robbing the dead tastes better than stealing from the living. I'm a good enough thief. Never once been caught. Still have all my fingers, or didn't you notice? Well, I know there aren't much women way out here, but let's stop all the attention, shall we? It's a touch embarrassing. The name's enough to put most explorers off. Bugger them, I say. Just less competition. Besides, what's in a name? I spent 2 years trying to make a fortune in a land called the Painted Orsks. Never did find out what an Orsk was. Glad that's done with.
Two Legs, please help me. Other Two Legs are cruel. They will not help. No, I am cursed. You believe me? Many think I am just another Two Legs. They are wrong. I am a wolf, cursed to wear this shape by evil sprites as some cruel game. I still have wolf thoughts in my head, but two-leg bodies are so clumsy, they can't even catch dumb meat birds. I must be changed back. The sprites are near. Even now I smell them, but I cannot fight in this form. Will you help, Two Legs? Thank you, Two Legs. but the task will not be easy. I need water from a magic well, guarded by the sprites that cursed me. Be warned, the sprites have much magic, for the well they guard is older than this wood, and from that they draw their power. A pack of two legs gave me this name, but they would not give me help. They hit me and drove me away, just for eating their tasty meat birds. But what did I do wrong? I was cursed by 3 sprites who were bored. Had I fang and claws, I would shred them like meat birds. My brothers and sisters think me but another 2 legs now, and will not suffer my approach. I am without a pack. But it is worse than that. Your 2-leg life is unbearable, like these strange things called pants. How do you tolerate them? Their pack is small, but they are each powerful. They came to this forest not long ago, drawn by the magic of the well. Were I a wolf, they could not best me, but as 2 legs, I am clumsy and weak. Be careful. This is a black pool. Old when the mighty trees were saplings. It used to wander throughout this corner of the wood until the sprites ensnared it. It is good for the hunt, this wood of smell and shadow. As a 2 legs, I cannot stalk, cannot prey. The bloodlust. It is agony. The sprites guard the well, which is near the river to the north. Beware them. They have much magic. Return swiftly.
Hail, traveller. Finally! For a while I thought only the Warsworn used the Yolven Road. Penry Kell's my name. Traveller by vocation. I have no trade, but I do have a job for one like yourself. Interested? Most travellers have qualms about dealing with the fair folk. Harder to read than a human, and fewer many pockets to pick. These ballads, Fae, they are not only rich in lore. I've heard snippets of a ballad, and a beautiful ruby ring, and I need someone to help me get it. Never met a traveller before, have you? We may look humble, but our purses are always full. You can find a lot of coin if you know where to look, and when. The ballad is called Ring and Reprisal. I know little about it, but if we reenact the ballad step by step, the ring should come to us. In the story, a maiden asks a champion to reclaim a ring stolen by a troll. It's a few years too late, but I'll play the role of the maiden. You be the champion. First, you must prove your prowess by hunting wild antelope and bring back something to lure the troll. Who knows? You'd have better luck getting an answer from one of these damn Fae. But it's what the ballad calls for. You can find an antelope nearby. Bring them down and get proof of your kills. We'll need them later on. It is the story of a maiden who lost her ring to a greedy troll. A young knight, wishing to be her champion, offered to reclaim it. The champion killed antelope and used the carcass as bait. When the troll came to feed, the knight killed the troll and returned the ring to the maiden. The ballads of these fae repeat naturally, but if we reprise it now, we can force the troll and the ring to appear again. It's the way these fae work. None are safe from its wilting touch, not even the travellers. Like everyone in Amalur, our fate is in the cards. Lambs, all of them, yes. The people in Gorhart wish to hide from the war beneath the trees. But you and I both know the truth. There's no running from the Tuatha. At first listen, the Fae speak in riddles, but bend an ear. They revere stories. It is how they give their lives meaning. If you can call what they do life, the House of Ballads is a place where the Fae revel in their past glories. It is north of here if you're curious. I'm a firstborn traveller's child, raised to live the way my people have for centuries, by wit and wiles. New to the Feylands, yes? We travellers are folks without land, law, or king. We go where we want and do what we please. That aside, it's pretty much common knowledge that we're some of the greatest thieves in the land. Kiss a traveller and count your teeth, so the saying goes. I usually stay with the war in the east, thankfully so. But I've killed a few here in the Dark Wood. Wish I knew what brought them. Anyone who labours to defy nature is a fool. The Warsworn built that keep to stand for all time. But it will fall, like all the others. They should heed the lesson of Castle Yolven. If magic wishes to reclaim what's rightfully hers, she will do it. An ancient castle inhabited by spiders. They say a witch is involved in its overthrow. I do not know of such things. I've travelled Webwood many times, but that was before the recent unpleasantness. Spiders have overtaken the forest. It is best avoided. It is the crossroads of the southern and eastern routes. It is also a haven for those wishing to escape the horrors of Webwood. To the west lies Gorhart village. To the north is the House of Ballads. Good luck.
Interesting. You're not at all what I expected to find here. I trailed a band of Tuatha to this place. They killed the Fate Weaver. I was hoping his corpse would give me an idea of why they were here. Now I know. They were hoping to find you. Knowing you, you're definitely involved. But something tells me I know you better than you knew yourself. Don't you remember me? I'm hurt. No time for introductions now. The Tuatha are still on the move. I'm certain that we'll see one another again. Soon. Be on your way.
What happened here? Arden's dead. How did this happen? Why would they have come here? Why kill a harmless old Fate Weaver? They couldn't know that you were headed here. I mean, the stingy bastard owes me a week of drinks. Doesn't mean he deserved to be murdered. I was hoping to avoid this, but I think I'm going to have to take you to Delok. It's a sacred place to we Fate Weavers. Somewhere that I was hoping to avoid. I was hoping Arden could take you, but I guess it comes down to me. No reason getting anyone else killed over it. Go, I'll meet you there. Once I give Arden a proper funeral. This is twice now I've buried the bodies left in your wake.
Yes? What could a mortal vagabond need with Casmaran, the Eternal, messenger of the Fey folk? Speak! My time may be of the ages, but it is still precious. Wait, Father Dinwell sent you, didn't he? Old fool. His path to power was too plodding, and now he wishes to slow me down too. I have new friends, Fey friends. They are named Finna and Arbos, and they have sworn to share their secrets with me and to gift me with true magic. In exchange, they want an ancient treasure buried in the caverns of Waterhall Down. I'll retrieve it, eventually, as soon as I, feel like it. They are Fey twins, and they are beautiful, magical creatures. They've promised to teach me magic, to help me see the world as it really is. All they require of me is to fetch for them this relic. It's quite a bargain, believe me. Fine, if you want to be so noble, but don't expect any of the treasure. This is my key into a powerful new future, a future full of magic and wonders. Let's go. I'm new to the Feylands. Until I joined the mission, I'd never even left my home village. That's why I volunteered. I wanted to see the world. I want to visit the gardens of Issa, to meet gnomes and Alfar, to live. The Order of Mitharu was a good way to leave home, but I want so much more. It sounds rather silly, doesn't it? I had a feeling it would. I need a mage name for when I become all-powerful, for when my magic is so great that no one will dare dispute me. What about Abner the Visionary, or Malik the Nefarious, Lord Zaltanus? No? And those were the good ones. Mortal races have no lasting grasp on this world, and in time the fair ones shall be our masters, beautiful and mighty. They believe I have the potential to succeed where all others have failed, including them. You see, they can't obtain what they desire, so they need someone more powerful to do it. Then they will bestow upon me the wisdom of the Fey. Legend tells of the great Fey city hidden beneath the canopies of Dalantarth. I've never met anyone who's been there, but I'm sure it's real. Yes, I'm quite sure. Not a doubt in my mind. It is called the Selkie Veil, and it's said to possess the power to transform its wearer into any form he wishes. Finna says it belongs to the Fey, but was stolen. Father Dinwell and the others are fools, and their silly mission will wither and crumble. Finna and Arbos have glimpsed it with their ever-seeing eyes. I don't know much about the relic, only that it was supposedly crafted by a Fey mage named Arman the Clever. Arman is a good name. Not as good as Casmaran, though. It is in the caves of Waterhall Down, a refuge for the wild Fey. See you later. If we're going to press on, then I'll ask you to stay close. I have no courage to speak of. Honest. Ask Father Dinwell. Local legend says that the great Fey mage Armin the Clever retreated to these caverns to hide his treasures from mortal hands. Among them, the Selkie Veil. See you later.
Our little Egan has made a friend. I have a feeling this is going to be a problem. A charming boy, but simple. My brother and I do prefer them witless and eager. He would have done so much more for us if not for you. Before the war, we plundered Rothir from within. We were so successful that the Warsworn had bounties on our heads. Not much, but enough to be proud of. Sadly, all good things must come to an end. With the arrival of so many wartime outlaws, we were forced to relocate here. It was for the best, if you ask me. Legend states that the wearer of the veil will be granted strange abilities, fey abilities. So you can imagine why my brother and I might be curious. Obviously, anyone who has ever glimpsed a fey would know that. Unlike little Egan here, your head holds more than fantasies. The Feylands are such fertile ground for games. The inhabitants are so oafish you can fill your pockets with hardly any effort. Are you going to give us what's rightfully ours, or do we need to start a new game? My brother and I are always ready to play. Then you'll have to pay for it with your life. You see, we have much invested in this deception. Blood, gold, not to mention the hours wasted on Egan. We may be criminals, but we're an honourable pair. We worked hard for our prize, and now we mean to have it. Cursed, is it? It does look like you are well acquainted with misfortune. Keep the veil, then. There are other treasures to be had in the Feylands. Make certain our paths do not cross again, or my brother will add his mark to your scars. Farewell,
It's not... I didn't know. How could I? Before I came to Goreheart, I'd never known anyone outside my immediate family. Everything was so new, so magical. You must think me a fool. And Father Dinwell... Come, let's return to the mission. I must ask forgiveness of so many. See you later. On to St. Odwig's.